Have you ever thought to yourself, I wish I could be one of those people who just is good at prayer? What does it even mean to be good at prayer? But you know what I mean? Like, you're like, man, I just want to have like a stronger prayer life. I want to be like so-and-so because she just like really knows how to pray. Like when she's praying, like something just happens in the room. Have you ever been around people like that? And you're like, I don't have that thing. How do I get that thing? I'm going to give you some ideas for how to cultivate a life of prayer as a busy mom. My name is Jen. I'm the founder of the She Is Bold YouTube channel, and my goal is to help you follow Jesus in the everyday. I think one of the ways my prayer life has gotten deeper is having models of praying women and praying people, men too, because you kind of need something to shoot for. And you need some ideas. And so that's my goal, is to take not only me, I am not your model for prayer. You know, I hope you pick somebody better than me. But I've learned from a lot of people who are praying people, like up at 4 a.m. praying people, up praying for hours before work people, like do spiritual retreats and pray all day kind of people. Okay. And so while you may not be able to do that on the daily as a busy mom, you have more time than you think. I think that's the theme in this busy mom series that this is turning into, is you have more time than you think. Also, sacrificing time to pray is worth it. Sacrificing time to pray is worth it. It might feel silly to you when you're like, my house isn't clean, my dishes aren't done, I really need to pack kids' lunches, or, you know, name the thing. You will never regret spending time with God through prayer. So let's talk about how we can do that as busy moms. The thing I've said several times already is look at your day, look at your season. Where can you build in extended times of prayer and short times of prayer? You want to have both. You really can't live on 5-minute prayers or 1-minute prayers or help me Jesus prayers, you know? Like, if you want to grow deeper roots in spiritual maturity in the area of prayer, you're going to have extended times of prayer. What do I consider an extended time of prayer? 30 minutes plus, I would say. And I'll tell you some of the ways I do that. Let's start with daily prayer that might be shorter, and then we'll move to extended times of prayer. Almost in the same way you're looking at your day for reading the Bible, you're going to look at your day for when you pray. So if we're looking at the morning, you want to pray in the morning, or even if you want to have time to pray during your day, you're going to have to get up early, and it's going to be worth it. I don't know how many times I need to tell you that. Like, you may not feel worth it for a day, a week, or a month. 10 years from now, if you get up early and you spend time with God through prayer, and you're like contending for your family, and you're like seeking the Lord's face, and you're praying for friends who don't know Jesus and family who don't know Jesus, and you're praying for your city and your country and your life, and you're like confessing your sin, what do you think you're going to look like in 10 years? Like, a totally different person. Totally different person, okay? So don't give up. Like, spiritual formation, being formed into the likeness of Jesus, is not a microwave thing. This is like deep soul work that takes years to see fruit. It's the same as when you're parenting your kids in the way of Jesus, okay? Where you're like, I'm trying to raise Christian kids, I'm teaching the Bible, I'm correcting them, I'm pointing them to Jesus as I correct them. And it's like, you start seeing fruit like 7 years later. Guess what? You're the same. You take a long time to grow. I do too, okay? So the thing is, just keep doing the right thing, okay? And so if that means getting up early for you, and even like 15 minutes earlier, 30 minutes earlier, it's going to be worth it. If it means using your lunch to prayer walk, if you can do that, okay? If it means after dinner, and this helps if you're married, if you have a supportive husband who's a believer, okay? This might be different from you, but let's say you do. And you ask, hey, can I take a 30-minute walk to pray? Okay? A godly husband is going to be like, yeah, can you also do that for me too? Like, can we alternate? Do that for each other, okay? As I'm saying this, I'm like, we need to do that more often. In the evening, maybe you can still walk outside, like my neighborhood where the lights are still on, or maybe you have a spot where you can pray. It really helps to have a spot you can pray. I love my closet, quite honestly. It's quiet there. I also have 4 little kids, so that's probably why. Something that's really helpful for me in cultivating a daily rhythm of prayer is I have lists of things. This is where you have to pause and evaluate your life. What's going on in front of you? Or if somebody asks you to pray for them, like you should have a spot where you're writing this stuff down. For me, I can't have it in my phone. Like I've got to have it somewhere visible because I want to put it where I'm hanging out, whether it's in my kitchen or in my car or on the mirror in my bathroom. Writing out your prayers and posting them somewhere. Maybe you pray in your closet or wherever you pray is very powerful. And then you get to mark them off when they're answered. It's almost this keeping an account of the faithfulness of God through keeping track of answered prayers. The other thing, if you want to have a life that's marked by prayer, is to pray as like the instinct to a response to something. So if you have a friend or a coworker or your husband or one of your kids, when something comes up that's hard or good, you can pray. Like just be a person who reflexively prays in a moment, right? And if you keep doing that, it's going to feel awkward at first. It's going to feel awkward. The first time you do that with your spouse or your kids or your coworker or your friend, it's going to feel a little weird. And then it's going to become the new normal, right? Everything feels weird the first time. And then it becomes the new normal the more you do it. So be a person who reflexively prays. Not in a weird way. in a way that says, I walk with God and I know who has the answer to our problems, right? Like, I know this Jesus guy. I know Jesus. I know he's Lord. And he has the answer to our problems. And so we're going to take them to him. I also know that God is the giver of all good things. And so like when we're celebrating, we're going to pray. When we're grieving, we're going to pray. When we're angry, we're going to pray. When we're frustrated and when we're disappointed, we're going to pray. So be a person. Really, what it means to be a person who prays is someone who is dependent on God. Because people who don't pray are not dependent on God, they're dependent on themselves, plainly speaking. And you will have seasons, and I have had seasons, where when I'm not praying, it's because odds are that I am starting to depend on myself more than I'm depending on God. And so remember, what's the point of prayer? What's the point of prayer? Abiding, that means sticking with Jesus, sticking close to Jesus. When we studied John, some friends and I studied John, we talked about how Jesus will never leave you, but you can leave him, okay? Prayer is one way you abide and stay with Jesus in the everyday. Prayer is about intimacy with God. It's about relationship with God. It's if you want to have a deep, intimate relationship with someone, you have to spend time with them. You have to talk to them. That's what prayer is. Prayer is bringing our hopes and our disappointments and our grievances and our anger and everything to God. It's trusting him with everything. It's taking the people and the problems that we can do nothing about and entrusting them to God. And so if you become someone who prays, if you become someone whose life is marked by prayer, your life will never be the same. And the people around you, their lives will never be the same. Like prayer has impacts. I believe that we won't even fully realize until eternity. Because I look at Daniel 10 and it says, as soon as you prayed, a call went out. That means God tells the angels to do something right when Daniel prays. Did Daniel know? No, he sees nothing. He prays, nothing happens. To him, in the physical world, in the spiritual world, stuff is happening. So I want to encourage you, if you've been praying and you're like, nothing is happening. Nothing's happening. I've still got the same problems. This person hasn't followed Jesus. They haven't put their faith in Jesus yet. Like I'm still just like battling the same sin. Don't give up because there's stuff happening in the spiritual world that we don't even know about. And sometimes these things take time and sometimes we're not going to find out till eternity. But my encouragement to you is don't give up, friend. Don't give up. Be a person who prays, be a person who's dependent on God, and your family will be better for it, okay? So I hope this video was helpful for you. Make sure you subscribe before you leave, and I'll see you in the next video.